Ooh. You guys saw that? Of course, I'm gonna start with clipping my hair out of my face. I'm gonna use these little clips. I actually got these at Walmart and I think they're just so cute. They come in a pack of 4, so there's 2 like this and then there's 2 gold plain clips. So I got 2 different packs and I just love these. So I'm gonna, use these to clip my hair out my face. You could put them on this way or you can do it backwards so that you don't see this clip part, but I'm just using it to clip my hair out my face, so it's not that serious. Okay, so we're gonna start with the face. Now, I'm going to be using this new Faced Hangover Good in Bed Moisturizer. It's a hydrating serum, actually. I love this. I was so hesitant to use it, even though I bought it. I was thinking about returning it, and then the other day, I put it on, and it's either this or something else that I'm gonna share with you guys, or maybe the combination of all of the 3 of these products, but my makeup lasted for about 7.5, 8 hours. It was really nice. My skin wasn't super oily like it normally is, and I'm really loving this stuff. So I'm gonna apply a generous amount of this. Just take like 3 pumps and put it on my face. And it's so cooling and refreshing on your skin, and it just feels really, really nice. So this hydrating serum does really put a lot of moisture into your skin, and you can definitely use it day or night. And as you can tell, it really gives you that lit from within kind of glow. And I just really have been loving using this. It's just this in combination with the other things, again, that I will mention soon, has been awesome. I love the packaging of this. It's just a glass bottle, so it is a little heavier, and definitely love the fact that it has a pump, so that's awesome as well. But this is what it looks like. So I like to give that time to like sink into the skin and do its magic. I don't like to go in right away with my primer, so I'm gonna work on my brows really quickly. I am gonna do it on camera, but I am gonna speed this part up just because I just feel like brows are so boring. So I'm gonna do my brows real fast, and then we can start finishing up the base makeup. So let me explain. I did fill my brows in a little bit and outline them with this Colourpop pencil. Now the reason why I'm not doing the whole 9, I'm gonna add brow gel and maybe a little bit of powder later on. But I feel like getting this part down before I do my base makeup has been the best for me. I tried the whole doing my brows after doing my base makeup completely, but with this brow pencil, I find it really hard to really outline my brows. For some reason after I put product on. So I do that step first, and then I worry about my base makeup, and then I'll finish up the brows a little bit later. So now for primer, I'm gonna go in with my favorite, the Faced Hangover Rx primer. And you guys know I love this, but this in conjunction with the serum that we put on, it just really has made a big difference. And I love that. So to use this, and it's really nice to see that even though the brand came out with something new, it still works in conjunction with their old products. I guess this wouldn't be a video if I didn't have trouble saying at least one word. Now we can get into the actual makeup, and today we're going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation, and this is in 500. Now, when I did my initial review, or my initial first time using this, it wasn't necessarily a review on the foundation itself, but when the first time I used this, I wasn't too crazy about it. But sometimes you just gotta try things again and again just to really make sure that either A, you don't like it, or maybe you do like it. Now this foundation does have a little scent to it, nothing too crazy or lingering. But I'm gonna use this because it worked really well for me the other day. So just using my beauty blender to tap this all over the face. You guys already know how this goes. Now again, I don't feel like this foundation is full coverage at all, but I feel like you can build it up if you wanted to. So I'm just gonna press this in. And if you guys are wondering what I'm looking at, it's my mirror. Normally I have my mirror kind of showing a little bit in the videos lately, but I know some of you can get annoyed with that, so I kind of pushed it back a little more. So you can kind of get a better view of my face, I guess. Now to conceal, we're gonna go in with the Tarte Shape Tape. This is actually a new one. I'm finally using the new Tarte Shape Tape that I bought. The new bottle, same shade. And with this, I'm just gonna drag a few lines. Okay, maybe a lot of lines. Who am I kidding? And I'm just gonna put this underneath my eyes, above my lip, my chin, and of course, down the bridge of my nose. To blend in, of course, I'm gonna use the same sponge. And I'm just going to tap on it and blend it out. Now to set everything in place, I'm going to be using both Wet n Wild powders, so the translucent and the banana. First, I'm going to take the banana powder and I'm going to dust this just a little bit with this brush. It's just like a fluffy brush. I think I got this like at Marshall's or something. And I'm gonna tap lightly under my eyes just because I want to set it down first before I actually bake, because I am going to be baking with this powder. So just tapping, tapping, tapping. So it's like light layer of powder, and then we can bake. I'm also gonna tap on my eyelids as well because, like I said, we want to set our base for our eyeshadow. And even if we weren't putting shadow on, I would still do this because the foundation and the concealer would definitely crease. And then with this bigger brush, this is the Real Techniques Instapop face brush, and I really like that brush. I'm gonna use a little bit of the, whoa, that was too much, a little bit of the translucent powder from Wet n Wild. I'm gonna tap my brush in there, tap it off, and then I'm gonna press this onto my face. So the forehead, basically the outer perimeter where I didn't put that banana powder. And we're gonna look a little powdery at first and very matte, but don't worry, it'll all come together. Then I'm gonna take my little brush and just dust away the excess product. I really love this little brush just to like dust away product. It's really nice. So once I feel like all the excess product is off my face, I'm gonna grab a little bit more of that banana powder right in here. I'm gonna take my Real Techniques sponge, dip it into the powder, just kind of like tap. I put very little on the lid, and then I'm going to just press it underneath my eyes so that way I can bake. The only thing about this powder is it can get super like messy, and it just be going everywhere, but it's worth it because I love it. All right, so now we're gonna bronze up our skin, and actually we're gonna finish up our brows real quick. So what I'm going to do, I like to grab the Benefit Brow wand, and I like to use this for powder. So I just dip into this Tarte palette that I have. This is the Tarte Maneater Palette, and I like to use this dark shade down here called Midnight. And I just create small hair-like strokes in the front and then fill in the rest of the brow a little bit. So I'm gonna do that really quickly. Sometimes this comes out looking crazy, but most of the time it comes out looking nice. Sometimes I can be a little strong-handed in that those hair-like strokes that I made right here in the front could be like super extreme. And then I'll just have to try and fix it a little bit. But I really love using powder to create these strokes. And it just looks so much more natural and nice. I really do love it. So I basically just dip the brush in once per eyebrow. And then I take the spoolie on the Colourpop pencil and just brush it. So for bronzer, I'm going to be using the pretty Vulgar Bronzer. I just really love this bronzer. This and the Smashbox one have been my favorite lately. But I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to use this brush. This has actually been my new favorite brush to use. This is the M405. And it's like this really fluffy angled brush. And I just really like it for bronzer. So make sure I get it on my forehead. I feel like this is like the perfect tone for me right now. I just really have been loving it a lot. A lot. I want to try a new bronzer. I have the Fenty one, which you guys have seen me use. But if I'm being honest, I don't grab for that one as much. I'm thinking about getting a lighter shade in that bronzer. Not that that one's too dark for me or anything, but I feel like I can definitely find one that will be a little bit more pleasing to me. So just run this everywhere. I think it looks so nice. And then you guys know me, I'm gonna go in with the Hoola on my nose. I'm gonna take that same brush. You know, now that I think about it, I need to clean this brush. I don't think I've ever cleaned it. Maybe once. So I'm gonna run this down my nose. And then across the tip. And then I'm gonna grab, this is just an eyeshadow brush. This is the JH37. And I'm gonna use this just to kind of blend it out. I don't want it to be super harsh or anything. So now our powder has had more than enough time to sit and work its magic underneath our eyes. So we're just gonna dust that away really quickly. I really like this brush. Did I say that? I think I did. But I do. And I like that powder. It's really nice. Okay, now we're going to use a little bit of highlight. Wow. The highlight we're going to go in with is the Wet n Wild I'm So Lit Loose Highlight. And I'm just going to take very, very little in the lid. Like that might even be a little too much. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to swirl my brush in this highlight, tap it off, and then apply it. And you guys will see. This highlight is very, very beautiful. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna make sure I smile and get it on my cheekbones, like right here in the front. That way you're not only glowing from the side, but you're also glowing in the front. So I really have been liking that. And then I'm gonna take a smaller brush. This is the JH39. And I'm gonna swirl that in there as well. Tap it off, and then I'm gonna put it on my nose right here. Too much. And then above my lip. Ah, ooh. You guys saw that? Now I'm gonna grab my sponge and go like that. Just to press it into the skin a little bit. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is highlight. Okay, now for blush. I'm gonna use two different blushes in the same little quad palette. Not a quad, quad is 4. So in the same little trio, there you go. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio. And this is Peachy Love, but I'm gonna use the orange looking shade and also this, like, I don't know, light pink with orange tones in it. These two right here, the two lightest shades in the palette. Let's say that. And I'm gonna use this blending and bronzing Equal Tools brush, but I love it for blush because I feel like it just disperses the blush so nicely. And doing this after using highlight, it really makes it kind of glowy a little bit instead of just being matte, and I like that. Now, before we move on to our eyes, I am going to spray my face down, and I'm going to use the Faced Hangover 3-in-1 replenishing primer and setting spray. So right now I'm using it just to melt down all of the powders that we put on our face. And yeah, you guys know. So the products that I was talking about in the beginning that I feel really helped keep this base nice and in place all day are all by Too Faced, and I promise you guys this video is not sponsored, but I used, or you guys know what I used, but the 3 products I'm talking about is the hydrating serum, the primer, and the setting spray. Love these 3. This combination right here has been a dream. So I can't say it's one thing or the other. The 2 new things that I used were these 2. So it could just be the spray or it could be just a serum, but using all 3 of them I find is what gave me this awesome base, and it lasted. Okay, so for the eyes, I am using the big Jaclyn Hill palette as well as 2 of the Vault collection palettes. Now, I know the drama that's surrounding Jaclyn Hill right now, and I'm not going to comment on any of that. All I have to say is I love these palettes and these products that I've purchased, you know, with her collaborations with Morphe, and I'm going to continue to use them. So, taking the bigger palette, I'm going to go in with this shade right here, and this is Silk Cream. Hopefully you guys saw that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw that in my crease, and I'm going to start doing windshield wiper motions back and forth. Do a little bit of circular motion as well. And then as my brush loses pigment, I'm going to kind of take it up towards my brow. So I really want to build the pigmentation of this shadow up. It's not going to be, how you say it, like I'm going to build it up a lot, and it's not going to seem like much, but it's going to do a whole lot for me as far as like blending the other shades and shadows that I'm going to use. So I'm going to do the same thing, just swirl my brush in there, tap it off, go back and forth, windshield wiper motions, also circular motions, and I'm going to do this 2 more times, and then on the 3rd time I'm going to swirl my brush in the product, but I'm not going to tap it off at first, and I'll show you what I mean when I get there. So let me just do this 1 more time after this, and I can tell you guys or show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to swirl my brush in the product. I'm not going to tap it off, and I'm going to press it in my crease, so just like really pack it on there. Then I'm going to tap my brush off, and then I'm going to blend. The next shade I'm going to grab is Peachy, which is kind of like diagonal from that other shade that we used. Swirl my brush in there, and I'm also going to put this in my crease as well, and just really like use circular motions, especially on like this outer part of your eye. Just really work that product there. Go back and forth, windshield wiper motions, circular motions. And I'm going to go back in 1 more time with this shade, tap off my brush and do the same thing. And then once my brush loses pigment, I'm going to work it up towards my brow bone. By the way, I was using the Morphe M573 for both those 2 shades that we just grabbed. Now I'm going to pick up the Ring the Alarm palette, and I'm going to grab Rush, which is this orange shade right here, and I'm going to use that on a JH31, and I'm also going to put this shade in the transition, but more like the upper transition area, not so much near the lid, if that makes sense. So I'm going to swirl my brush in here, tap it off, and then just run that lightly in the upper transition area of our eye. Rock back and forth, windshield wiper motions, same old, same old. And another tip when you're blending, Make sure you're holding your brush kind of like midway, not too far up because then it'll be too intense, and not too far down because it's too loose. So middle is pretty much the best place to hold your brush when blending. This shadow is really helping to blend all the other shadows that we put down previous, and it just really gives it a flawless blend. Now taking the M433, it's like this pinched fluffy brush, and I'm gonna take the Armed and Gorgeous palette, and I'm gonna use Access right here, which is like this nice yellow shade. And I'm gonna lightly dust this above the orange and kind of use it on the sides of my eye just to kind of wing out the shadow just a little bit, but not too much. So I'm just gonna swirl my brush in there. I don't really need a lot of this product. And then lightly, very lightly feather it. Like my hand is super light-handed right now, or I'm super light-handed doing this because I don't want it to be intense or anything like that. I just really want to use this shadow to kind of blend out the tops of the other shades. And then I'm going to take it on the outer corner, just flick it out a little bit. I want to add a little bit more brightness in my crease area, so I'm going to take Creamsicle, which is like this orangey yellow kind of tone right here, in the bigger Jaclyn Hill palette. And I'm just going to use this Wet n Wild brush. It doesn't have a name, but it's like your standard eyeshadow brush, but not really. It's a little bit more fluffier than that, and I really like this brush because it gets right there in my crease, like right there. So I'm just gonna run this back and forth, literally just back and forth, cradling it basically in my crease. And that's really all you need to do with that. Now we are gonna go back into the Ring the Alarm palette. We're gonna grab that M433 again, which is the same one that we used for the yellow. And now we are going to grab Mugshot, which is the lightest. It's like more of a warm toned brown right here, without being, it's like borderline brown orange. And I'm just gonna swirl my brush in that a little bit. And I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna pat this on my lower lash line. My lower lid area, like on that outer part, and then slowly work it up. And then once I hit the crease, I'm gonna blend like halfway into the crease, if that makes sense. You don't need too much of it because the more you pack it on, the darker it might get. And I know it doesn't seem that pigmented on camera, at least in my little viewfinder down here. It doesn't look super pigmented, but in person it is definitely darker than anything else we've put on our lid. So I'm just gonna do the other eye really quickly, and then we can start working on the bottom lash line before we finish up the eye look. Now using the M431, which is like a little pencil brush, I'm gonna take Mugshot again, which is that warm tone brown that we just finished using, and I'm gonna put that on my bottom lash line, but I'm not gonna go too far into the inner corner because I don't want to make our eyes seem super closed in. We want to kind of keep the darkness towards the outer end of our eye. So take it on the pencil brush, I'm gonna look in my mirror, I'm gonna look up, and I'm gonna run this on my bottom lash line. Using the Wet n Wild brush again, I'm gonna take Rush, and I'm also gonna smoke that on my bottom lash line to kind of blend out the Mugshot shade, and just run it. This one I'm gonna run all the way across. Now I'm gonna take the JH43, and I'm gonna take Secret, which is like this really dark brown in this palette, and I'm gonna use that to tightline my lower lash line with this. And I'm just going to, I'm not smudging it, I'm just pressing it up against that bottom lash line because I want a little bit of darkness. And again, I'm not going all the way to the inner corner with this because I don't want to darken up my inner corner. And then I will take the M431 and take Mugshot one more time to just kind of smoke that line that we just made out a little bit. finally, for the lower lash line, we're going to take Access again on the Wet n Wild brush, and we're going to use this shadow to smoke out everything that we put on our lower lash line. So underneath all of those shades that we placed underneath our lower lash line, we're just going to blend out this shadow. I feel like this shade really helps to brighten everything up underneath there, and you could drag it down as far as you'd like. So if you like a really blown out bottom lash line, you can definitely do that. Now we're gonna go back to the top, and we are going to use Boom, and this is in the Ring the Alarm palette. So this shimmer shade right here, we're gonna use that one first, and I'm gonna take my JH41 brush. Wow, almost hit myself. My JH41 brush. I am gonna spray it, but first I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the shadow. Tap it off. Spray my brush. We're gonna pack that on the inner part of our lid, like all of this space right here. Now what I like to do is take this brush and really pack it on the inner part first, and then I'll use my finger to go more towards the middle. But I really like using the brush on the inner part because it really helps to get that product on there nice and precisely. Take my finger and press this shadow on right here in the middle part of our lid. You can definitely just rock it like that, but what I did the other day was take On Camera, which is the golden shade in here, and just tap that with my finger right on top of that same shimmer shade that we just laid down, and to me it just makes it so much more nicer. I really like these two shimmer shades together. Now I'm gonna take this second to lightest shade in the bigger Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm gonna use this as my inner corner highlight. So I'm just gonna tap the brush and then just place this in my inner corner. I'm actually gonna spray my brush down. I don't know why I didn't do that, but spray it down first, grab the shade again, and then use it. And this just adds a nice level of brightness in my inner corner, and I feel like this shade definitely matches the highlight, so that's nice as well. And I'm also going to take the shadow and I'm also going to run it on my brow bone as well, just to create kind of like that highlighted brow bone effect. Let's just do that really quickly on both sides. And I'm just using this brush that I got in a BoxyCharm box. I think this is the Luxie 141 mini round brush. So the eyes are basically complete. I am gonna add some liner. This is a brown liner, and this is by Ruby Kisses, and I actually got this at the beauty store, the beauty hair store. What's that called? I can't think, but you guys know what I'm talking about. But I got it there, and I'm just going to line my eyes with this really quickly. I think that using a brown liner is so much better than using a black liner because it's not as harsh and intense, but it still looks really, really nice. So now I'm going to apply my mascara and my lashes off camera, and then we can come back and do the lip, which you guys will be very, very surprised about. Alright guys, so it's time for the lip. First and foremost, I'm going to take off this Laneige mask off my lips. Look a little crazy right now, but it's all good. So for the lips, I'm going to be using the NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick in Orange County. This is a super bright orange lipstick. You guys know my hesitation with color. Well, I put this on the other day when I had this whole makeup look on, and I really, really loved this liquid lipstick on my lips. And I have so many different colors and shades of these little mini NYX lipsticks. I need to start using them more. So yeah, step up for me. But before I put that on, I am gonna line my lips a little bit. I didn't line my lips that day, but I think I'm gonna do so today, just just to give it a little bit, how you say it, more structure. So I'm just gonna line them really quickly. And this is the Makeup Forever pencil that I'm always using now. And then now I'm going to pop on this bright orange. This is a matte lipstick. It says cream lipstick, but it dries pretty matte. Okay guys, so this is the final and finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope you guys love the look. I'm so proud of myself. I stepped out of my comfort zone and I put on not a bold lip, but a very vibrant one. And I think it's so perfect for summer. It definitely complements the eye look a lot. And if you guys seen my previous video where I tried drugstore products that turned out to be dupes, for other products. Nonetheless, the Maybelline lip pencil that I used in that video, it makes me want to go out and buy the orange one, like I said. Pat on the back, proud of myself because I definitely stepped out of my comfort zone. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. I love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. Make sure you click the bell notification so you can be notified every Wednesday and Sunday, 2 times a week, every single week, every time I upload. I will see you guys super soon in a new video or vlog, whichever one comes first. But until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.